A real problem, but I solve them all facts proof. And if you think I'm gon' fold, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. All dunks aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk, and I put on for my city from the intro. Let's go. I put that time in, my pride is out the roof, I get that grind in. So I'ma tell the truth, I get my grind on. You know the pressure make all of these diamonds. I tell them get back, step back, fast track, big lap, big facts. I'm past that, yeah. I'm trying to get ahead, get out the way. Now move forward, stand back, now break away. I'm about to bring it on. I ain't never backing down. Come and step up to the plate. For my city, for my town. I do whatever it takes. I'ma go and get this crown. Oh, I'ma go all of the round. I ain't never backing down. Come and step up to the plate. For my city, for my town. I do whatever it takes. I'ma go and get this crown. Oh, see the time, see the sights, see the sights, see the sights, yeah. Hop out and I'm scheming, ride around and I'm dreaming. Once I get the feeling, nobody can stop me. Hit it, I'm on goal, fanning all you foes. Once I'm on the road, I'm knocking out of the door. I got the range, if you wanna come and stand up to me, pull up on me now. If you wanna challenge, tell me rookie, run up on me now. I'm on the road to the top and I'm not looking back. I'm on the road to the top and I'm not looking back. I ain't never backing down, come and step up to the plate. For my city, for my town, I do whatever it takes. I'ma go and get this crown. Oh, I'ma go all of the round. I ain't never backing down, come and step up to the plate. For my city, for my town, I do whatever it takes. I'ma go and get this crown. Oh, to the top, see the sights, see the sights, see the sights, yeah.
Okay, we are live. Let me just check if everything is working fine. I think everything should be good. I think we're alright. Just double check on my other PC because we gotta double check. Okay, we're all good. Everything's running. Everything's fine. Music is good. I think it might be too loud actually right now. Bring it down a bit. Maybe around about here. Okay. Hopefully everybody had a really good Eid because today was Eid. So yeah. Hopefully that was alright for you guys. I just wanna just double check here. Man, these headphones are so good. Like, by the way, this is a new headset I have. You can't really see the lights because of this light. But I wonder if you can, if I turn this light off, you're gonna see. Wait, hold on. Maybe it's not on. Hey, there it is. It's pretty cool. Cool new headset. I was in a Street Fighter tournament. I won like a 1K and I bought this headset. I was like, I need a new headset because my other one it's been through the ringer, guys. I've had it for I don't know how long. Well, since I had this PC, that's how long I had it actually. And I got this PC just after I was married. So probably around 4 years? 3 years maybe. No, actually this piece is still brand new. Maybe a year or two. No, but that headset came with my old PC as well. Shit, so that was before I was even married. Damn, I've had a headset for quite some time now. Can't even remember. It's probably 6 to 7 years. Jeez. Yeah, and now, you know, I got the new headset rocking. Oh, I wonder why the light just goes off like that. Does it only stay on for a bit and then it goes off, or what? I don't know. Don't know why it does that. Maybe it has a cycle of some sort or something. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter. It's not part. It's not the main thing for the theme. So I'll leave it as it is. I think I want to drop the camera a bit. As you can see, I'm in my jammies. I got my robe. I got my Batman jammies on because it's It's cold as shit right now, guys. You don't understand how cold it is right now. It is crazy how cold it is. Hey, whoa, my Wi-Fi just dropped. That's crazy. Okay, it went back up. Interesting. Wild. I don't know why I did that. It was just a little. Hey, it's dropping again. Jeez, why is it doing that? What's going on with the Wi-Fi, bro? It keeps dropping and then it comes back up. My signal just keeps jumping. That's crazy. Why is it doing that? That's insane. Let me see. Maybe I have something open. What do I have open? Only the browser. Music. This. That's fine. We can leave this as is. We can maybe drop. We can minimize. We can even disable this thing. I think that should be fine. I think we're right. Let me get my glove. Let me get my pen. Let's get it right into this. Let me move my controller. That's for the Street Fighters. Anyway, I've also entered a Street Fighter Challenger screen contest that I've also entered. I'll probably work on that some other time, but yeah, gotta get this comic done, man. I've been so busy with work, I haven't had time to work on my comic at all. What did I do with the background here? Background is kind of just its own thing, I guess. Has this like panels in the wall that I don't know. Just gotta make it look lab-like and sciencey. That's all we gotta do. Okay. Oh, why is my caps on? Caps lock on. She's okay. Yeah, hopefully you guys are doing all good. Hopefully you've been having a good day. You gotta get this thing done. What is the date today? Today is the 7th of June. I most likely want to get this done by before we do our maybe by the 20th. I want to get this done. This at least one episode done by the 20th. I think would be good. Because then if we do make it for the next stage, I have an episode in my pocket. I only have to create one more for the next stage. If I do make it through, I hope I do. But what I've seen so far from going through the most epic category for the Webtoon contest, doesn't seem like I have a lot of competition over there. Aside from some entries, I've seen some really good ones. I've seen this one entry, which I probably can't mention right now, but it's gonna be one of my short listings predictions for the collab that's coming up with the Union and Hobbish and Skits. We're gonna do a collab coming up for not this weekend coming, I think the following weekend. We're gonna do a collab stream. I don't know if I think it's gonna be a stream. It's gonna be a stream. And we're gonna do a collab stream for that, and we're gonna basically list our top 5 short listings that we think is gonna make it for the Webtoon contest, and then also 5 honorable mentions that could also make it. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna see what happens. So far, I've also like made myself. I've made a score for the most epic category called Epic Score, and this is to score how epic the comic was. And there's a few that I'm like, but there's some few bangers right there. There's a few bangers. There was like I mentioned, this comic that I saw was actually, it really took me, man, it gave me some ideas for my comic as well, because it was so cool. Like the way it was done was kind of like it was an animation. which is really cool. Like that's something that I wanted to do for my comics, and they just gave me more of an idea and inspired me. Like, oh shit, I can actually, like, these techniques and stuff I can use for my comics and stuff. So that's gonna be pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm actually looking forward to actually implement some of those techniques in the upcoming fight that's happening in one of my episodes, and it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, looking forward to that shit. And then there was another comic that I just read before coming on the stream, and a really cool concept. The art still needs work, but the concept itself puts it above the one I just mentioned. It's just, the concept is really cool, and it's very interesting the way the story was written and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be pretty cool. Which comic is it? I don't think I can mention it, because then you will see when we do the stream on the shortlisting. I'll mention it. Maybe I'll just mention it actually for the stream. I think it's called Fatal Arts. This is the one I first mentioned, Fatal Arts. It actually might, you know what? I can actually mention the comics because it might not actually appear on my shortlisting, because I'm still ranking this stuff and putting it in the list. So it might actually not hit the top 5 for me, because I'm ranking the thing. So it might actually not be in the top 5, and therefore I won't mention it in the stream. So I think I'll just mention it now. So the Fatal Arts, that's the webtoon. Really awesome. Just the way, like, the fight sequence is amazing. It's so cool. It's like awesome. Like really inspiring stuff. Like really amazing. Here it is. This is it right here. Let me bring it up. Fatal Art. Really well done in terms of the fighting sequence, and awesome. It was like an actual full blown, like watching an actual anime fight. Like it's so cool. Like the way the fight was actually choreographed basically. And like I like this shit. Like how they did that was a really cool, and they're using simple shapes, simple colors to convey movement, and I really love that. Like the way they do it, like even this zipping motion, the what do you call it, flash frames, like it's so cool. Like I can actually see this being animated, and it was really awesome. The only thing I would say about it is the spacing of the panels, but because this fight is so fast paced, like this type of thing, I would move this panel much downer because it's a vertical format. But like the pacing, is you kind of give more because of the pacing, and it's so, and obviously the sideways panels. Anyone who does sideways panels, just don't do it, please. It breaks my brain, and I don't want to read sideways unless the characters are in a position to where they are actually sideways mid-air or something. Like otherwise it's just brain breaking. So don't do sideways panels. But otherwise everything else is so cool. And the only thing I had with even like this, I did a similar sequence to this in my comic as well. But it's like so cool. Like it's so like the pacing of the fight, and like the transitioning, everything, like the way this guy does it's just fucking amazing stuff. Well, or it could be a girl, guy or girl. No, so toy boy, shout out to you, man. Goddamn, this was so far this is my top one. Actually, this is close top one spot with another comic. It's up there for me so far. This shit's amazing. Just in terms of the story, and it's just I don't get it yet, because it's only 3 episodes long, so I obviously don't know what the hell's going on yet. But it's very vague. It's like there's something to do with some sort of ring, and I'm like, okay, still figuring it out. And then the next comic that I read, there was this one that really was like really cool, just because of the concept itself. The art still needs work, but the concept was really awesome. And obviously, when you start off your comic and you just murder, everyone the person loves, that's always a plus right there, immediate plus in my eyes. And then like the concept was really cool in terms of there is some really cool fighting sequences, I guess. Like the art still needs work, but it's not that bad that it's unbearable. It's a really pretty cool. Sideways panels again, please don't do sideways panels, just breaks my brain. And yeah, it's just pretty good. It's pretty good, yeah. This one is tied for Fatal Art in my like, way I rank things, because Fatal Art has it outdoes this in terms of the fighting sequences, but in terms of story, like this one outdoes Fatal Art so far. So shout out to Wenda June. Okay, shout out to you. Really cool, really awesome. Okay, so far those two are right on top for me. They almost tied for, I think, first place. If I had to put one over the other, I would have to put the one I just this one right here. I think I would have to put it over Fatal Art, even though Fatal Art's fighting sequencing and the way, obviously, the fighting sequencing is way beyond this one. This one's story is just way beyond that. So, and I put story more over the fighting sequencing in terms of epicness, because it's just, even though the fighting sequence can be as most epic as possible, but if it doesn't have a better hook to why they're fighting, I feel like it just kind of brings everything down, because senseless fighting is just senseless fighting. It can be the coolest senseless fight in the history of fights. It's just I feel like the emotional pull of what's happening in this story is just way better than Fatal Art, so I put this one over there. But yeah, it's really close though, because they both do well in different aspects, so that's why I said it's very close. But so far, that's the two in terms of most epic. Those are the two up there for my shortlisting so far. There could be more. Apollo's comic is in there, also Queen's Game. Check that out as well, Apollo's comic. The Queen's Game. Fuck, the Queen's Game. Let me put it out here. Let me shout out Apollo, man. Guy did pretty good. The Queen's Game. The Queen's Game. There it is. This comic was also pretty good. I think Apollo did a good job. In terms of epicness, I would say, I think I put it at after the other two. I think it's about 3rd place, 4th place. I think actually there's another one I think over this one, but pretty good comic. I actually enjoyed this. I enjoyed it pretty well, especially when the guy, just launches a spear to this lady's chest, which is like chef's kiss. Really good. Really love it. Check out Pantheon Talks channel. Check it out. Paulo's a really cool guy. Does some great work there. So those are the things. Those are the comics that I've read so far. There are more that I've read, but they're not. There's one I read. It's just not it. It's technically 5th place because by default, because I've only read that much that I've, you know what I mean. So far 5th place. But I can't remember which comic it was. A lot of the comics, I just didn't feel like reading through them because they have this long ass prologue, which is just annoying to read through sometimes. If you have, look, it's cool to have a prologue, but if it's long and dragging, fuck me, bro. I can't. It's just, it's like, I can't read through all that shit because I don't like it when people break down the entire universe in the beginning. I don't like that shit. Like, that's just off-putting. I love it when people just start out, just bam, they in. You in. Like, you immediately in the universe. You immediately getting to know the characters. You're getting a little scene happening, you know, a little foreplay, so to say, for what's to come. And then you're just jumping into it, and you're getting into it, and slowly, piece by piece, you're getting lore bits here and there while things are rolling forward. You know what I mean? That I feel like is much better for me, because that's much better. You know what I mean? And you kind of the fun part about that is that you're letting the audience figure it out on their own. Like, you're not spoon feeding them your entire lore in the beginning 5 panels to 10 panels. Like, Jesus, man, I can't. Like, that's just insane. Like, and there was this one comic, I think it was called what was it called? Something The Gifted of Cursed or something like that. No, because pretty sure I wrote it down. Where's my phone? I wrote it down somewhere. What was it called? I have a list of like over 350 entries that I have to read, by the way, for that video coming up. But let's see. Grace of the Curse. This comic did, when it comes to prologue, I think they did a really smart thing. And what they did was, they said, like, immediately as the comic started, it says, once upon a time in a place far, far away. And they immediately, after that sentence, boom, into the action. Like, the transition was really cool. I love that. That was really cool. Like, it was such a... At first I read it and I was like, oh, here we go with the long prologue. But immediately, no, they got into the action. They explained certain elements of things, some backstory. Like, it was like, just wham, bam, right in there, ma'am. You know what I mean? And I really like that. I really like that. That was pretty cool. The way they did that, just the transitioning, everything. So, something like that would be cool as well. What I like to do, what I did with this comic, and I see there's a few others who did it as well, is I like to start from the conclusion of something happening, and then transitioning into an earlier period before that thing happened, and then working my way toward it, and then obviously we catch up to what exactly is happening. That's what I like to do, which I did with this comic. Obviously, you started with the conclusion of the first fight in the comic. Then we rolled all the way back to when before the fight even happened and what was leading up to it. Then we got into the fight. We came back, circled back towards that conclusion, and now we're moving forward to what's to come. That's what I did. And that people seem to like the way I did that. So... But I also like the way I did that, because I enjoy comics that do that as well. Or I enjoy series that even do that as well. I don't like it when it's like, oh, once upon a time in this universe, the gods, whatever, and the humans, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, they did whatever, and now they need this thing. But because of this thing, they couldn't do it, and now it's up to blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't like that shit straight up in my face in the beginning. Like, what I like is like, it starts, right, and it just starts. Let's just be in it. Boom, there's a man running. Boom, what's he running from? Oh, it's someone chasing him. Okay, why are they chasing him? Okay, they stop him. Now he's talking about, now they're saying, oh, we finally got you, right? And like he's saying like, oh, but you will never whatever, and then he'll be like, well, we'll see about that. Boom, they kill him, and now we move on to the next part. Where we at now? We buy another guy, and it just like follows on, and we circle back to that moment why he died and like why he was being chased. I like that shit. That's the shit I like. I don't like this. You know what I mean? Here's my entire universe in your face and how it works. Now you know how it works. Now let's go meet the people. This is the one guy and he does this thing. And also he's a this and that. And this is his thing. And here he is in this place. Which is also yeah. And then here is his friend. Blah blah blah. Whole backstory. Blah blah. Like come on man. That's boring. That's boring. We've seen that all before. Yeah, you gotta keep it fresh. You gotta keep it new. Especially with today's audience. A lot of people today have very short attention spans. So you can't bore them with this entire waterboarding of just like lore, you know, just a lore dump in the beginning. You can't do that. You can't do that. They're not going to pay attention. They're going to read the first 5 panels and be like, well, this is boring, even though maybe the good stuff only starts on panel 20. You know what I mean? Like they just nah, this is boring, and they're just going to leave your comic. And they might come out. The only time they might ever go back to that comic is when someone says, nah, it actually good at like episode 5. They might go back. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. But so far I'm enjoying reading these entries. I've barely read any webtoons in my life, and like because now of content I have to read them, I'm actually taking my time and just reading through them whenever I have a bit of free time, and it's been pretty fun. Some of them I just don't have to read through because I'm like, if I look at a comic and I'm like, oh, this is not going to make the shortlisting, I'm just not going to read through it because obviously I'm making a shortlisting prediction here. So if I just see, oh, this is definitely not going to make it, like there was a few entries where I'm like, oh, this person just got the art style isn't that good, and also they like there's a lot of blood in the first beginning part of the episode, and I know Webtoon is about that, and yeah, they might just not make it. So yeah, but sometimes if it's good and I can look past those elements and just like read comic. I'm gonna need a ruler for this, otherwise it's gonna take forever. There's parallel line, yep, please, thank you. Oh. There we go. Yeah, but it's been fun so far. I'm looking forward to doing the short listings video as well with the homies. Get to make some really cool content. And then also I'm looking forward to working on my trailer again. Haven't gotten any time to do that because shit's so busy, bro. So hopefully I can do that. And then also at some point I do want to open up commissions, because people's been blasting my Insta asking me, hey man, do you do commissions? And I'm just like, nope, don't do commissions, because then I would have no life. So that's why I don't do it. But if I do, but now I'm thinking like, oh yeah, if I do actually work out a proper schedule and I limit how much commissions I can do per week, I can definitely do it. So I'm like, okay, cool, maybe I should actually start commissions and stuff. So yeah, that's gonna happen soon. Once I figure out the schedule, the pricing, and what exactly I'm gonna do for commissions. So I'm thinking like, I've seen some people do portraits and stuff like that, and then full body ones, and then like maybe like a wallpaper or something. So like, yeah, I just need to study the people who've done successful commissions, see how they do it, and then kind of just mimic what they did. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop the pricing just a bit, just so you know, people can look at my work and be like, oh yeah, this guy has good quality stuff, and the pricing is much lower than this person, and so obviously they're gonna come to me before any other person. And then once I have them hooked, once I have repeating customers or people who recommend me, then I will bring up the pricing to standard price. That's normally what I normally do. What a sentence. But yeah, I think that's a good strategy. That's what I did on Fiverr when I did freelancing on Fiverr. So yeah, that's good strategy. We're gonna do that. We'll also give people incentive, like an incentive to hop on my commissions as quickly as possible, knowing that the price might go up. So that's a good incentive. We'll have people flooding the gates, you know, bashing down my gates just to get in. Just check out my stream is doing. Okay, because the signal has been dropping for a bit, a couple of times, like in the beginning when I started the stream. So hopefully it's not doing that. I also saw like a thumbnail of one of Indy Burns' videos, which was talking about Webtoon is changing, and like on the thumbnail shows like the rating system might go away or something. Interesting. I might actually watch that video just to see what's going on. But all changes, I mean, I want to see what the change is about. No one really worries that much about the rating system. Although it will kind of tell you which comics suck. But I feel like within the first 3 episodes, if it doesn't hook you, it should suck. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna suck. Obviously, the creator's gonna get better as they create. But, you know, but you gotta suck first to become like successful. You gotta suck before you become successful. Yes, that is how things work. You just gotta be bad, become good. That's just how it is. So like if your first comic's just absolutely trash, you know the next one you might just get it, or you might just you will improve from that shitty comic, and then you might just hit it off in the next one. That's why you gotta fail immediately. You gotta fail as hard as you can first time around, and then you know, the harder you fail, the better you become, actually, which is weird. You'd think it's kind of like counterintuitive, but not really. When it comes to art, I don't think so. But I mean, when it comes to most things in life, if you fail at something, you can obviously pick up where exactly you went wrong, and then you can just, you know, just not repeat the same thing and improve from it. I mean, that's just with everything in life. So you will improve with experience, obviously. I mean, if we go back like 3 years ago, I mean, my comics were ass, bro. Like my art was absolute shit, and I thought I was good, and then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, yep, absolute ass. And that's why when I look at my stuff now, I'm like, I'm probably still not as good as I would like to be. But to other people looking at my work, they think I'm good, right? But I don't know. I don't think I'm where I want to be yet. You know what I mean? Obviously, want to be really good. I might even say I would want to be the best, but it's gonna take a while to get there. It's a long road. Kind of locked in here. Damn. Yeah, I'm still kind of recovering though, cause like on Wednesday I got sick, and I was like, fuck, why? Like, just why? And then obviously, yeah, it was just a shit time for me. But I didn't let it stop me, guys. I kept on the grind. I kept doing what I could until my body was like, nope, I think we're gonna just chill today. We're just not gonna do anything. And I was like, fuck you, body. We're gonna do something. We're gonna work on something. You can't stop me. And then, yeah, I worked on as much as I can. I just rest a bit. And yeah, eventually it cleared up. I still have this lingering cough that's annoying, so that's just a thing that's happening now. Don't think this goes like that. even though it was like, it was eat today. Normally on eat you eat a lot, but today I felt like I just didn't eat as much. I just like ate just enough, and I was pretty chill. But it's also winter, so it's cold as shit. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that there's nothing to do actually with how much I eat. I feel like if anything, I eat more in the winter because I burn up more energy trying to keep myself warm. Yes, I should have been eating more, but I don't know. I was just chill today, just really chilled. It's just standing out here a bit too much. Keep pronouncing it way too much. I think just do a simple chest. Just gotta trim off some lines. That's right. Just throw in one of these. There we go. I also gotta add more Street Fighter themes to my playlist here. I'm still rocking the OG roster for Street Fighter 6 themes here. Even though there's some DLCs came out, you know, there's Ed, there's Aki, there's Bison. So a few themes I still gotta get. Terry, Mai, even Elaine is out now. I gotta get like more themes. Oh yeah, and like in the future, I thought of doing a contest for you guys. Like, I thought about doing a contest. I was going to, because what happened was I entered the Street Fighter contest and I won a couple prizes, and then well, actually I won these prizes on Comic Con, and I haven't used it because it's a mouse and a headset. But I didn't have a headset and I have a mouse, so I'm not using them. They're brand spanking new and they're still in the box. So I thought maybe of doing I might do a giveaway for them, or I thought about doing some sort of contest for them, but I'm thinking a giveaway might be better for those people who are in South Africa. I feel like it's just cheaper, and eventually in the future I will do a comic contest for everyone. And I think the way I'm gonna go about in terms of prizes, I think here's what I'm gonna do. Whoever wins the contest, I will do a full-blown animation on like the one shot or whatever we're gonna do for the contest. I'll do like a full-blown animation for them, with like voice actors and all that jazz, right? We'll do all that, and yeah, I think that will be the prize. Will be a cool ass animation for them, done by me, and it's gonna look really awesome. And I think that's a pretty good thing to do. And then maybe second prize is like I do a little cool fan art for them based on the entry. Third prize, I don't know what I'm gonna do for third prize. I'll just figure out like what other prizes are, because I want a first, second, and third place prize. Actually, depending on how much people enter. If it's just maybe like 20 people, or yeah, like 15 to 20 people, I think one grand prize is enough. But if it's like over like 100 people, like I think I have to cough up some like 3 prizes. And I think it's gonna be something like that. Animation, maybe I do animation, but for the first one, a cool GIF, like animated GIF for them, for the second prize. And the third prize, obviously like a fan art or something I do. That will be cool. I think that's the prizes. That's gonna be a cool thing. When that thing is gonna happen, I don't know. I'll figure out a date, and we'll get people to enter. But it's gotta be something that like anyone can. Don't need to have the best art skills to win, really, or should it be art skill based? Should it be skill based in that sense? Well, if it's a one-shot comic, it doesn't have to be just art. Like good art wins. Like the story could carry the way the pacing. You know, there's a lot of elements to it that could carry the story or the comic itself. So I feel like it's fair game. Fair game, yeah. What's this? One, two, three. What's the time? 20 past 10. Okay. Yeah, I don't wanna. I think I'll probably hop off at. It's not gonna be that long of a stream. Probably hop off at like 11, quarter past. Like around about just before 11, I wanna hop off because I do wanna get some sleep. So I've had 8 today. Yeah, it's been a busy day today. But I do want to obviously just chill and work on some stuff. Just chill with you guys as well. It's pretty cool. I haven't had time to work on shit, so this is the time I'm gonna get. This is the time. I think tomorrow I have to actually do actual work stuff, because I have to set up a couple of renders for work. So I want to do that nice and early tomorrow morning so that it just renders out throughout the day. So that when Monday comes along, boom, work done. You know what I mean? Then I just have to clean it up and finish it up on Monday. There we go. And I think this is actually like something like this. What did I do here? Ah, okay. It's actually like this. There we go. Okay, that's what I did. Yeah, but I'm really interested to see where I take this story, yeah. Because obviously I don't like fully plan out my stories, so it's just as much as a surprise to me as it is to you guys where things go. Because it just depends on where my mind is on that day, you know. If I feel like killing one of the main cast characters, or if I just feel like revealing something or whatever, like it depends also what pops in my mind on that day. And yeah, so yeah, you guys might get something complete out of it, like just out of nowhere. And it's not going to be out of nowhere just for you guys, it's going to be out of nowhere for me as well. But sometimes I predict really like what I'm going to do, like, oh yeah, this guy definitely going to die, this guy maybe not, like, yeah, you know. But for this story, this is kind of more of an underdog story, really. That's what it is. Because of how... Because in this world, the society is run by those who can manipulate and work with... who can manipulate and basically who are very adept at using... power system known as Kai in this world. It's kind of like Chi, or it's like chakra, you can say. So this is kind of their thing. But there's a guy in here who just can't utilize Kai because of very specific circumstances that just caused whatever. You can't utilize Kai. So now he finds another way to kind of utilize the fighting skills he's learned and combine it with this technique that he has to combat the overwhelming majority of people who can use Kai. And these are basically high level fighters, and the world is basically run by these people. These people, like, everything runs off what's known as Kai in this universe. So like certain sponsors and stuff are sponsored and whatever, you know, like energy drinks that helps you Kai growth and whatever. So like everything's built around the system in this universe. So when this guy comes along showing people that, hey, I don't need that shit to become, you know, the fucking best out here, it's really gonna change how things work. And obviously it's gonna lead to some very interesting aspects within the universe, because it's kind of like this. Imagine the money, the currency we have in this world, how things work with currency in this world completely flips itself on its head, and there's a new thing that completely replaces that. It's things are gonna go like crazy, right? Because people are like, oh shit, we can't utilize this anymore to obviously, you know, especially like big businesses, you know, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, what's happening? They have to like completely flip the entire model and how they do things. Kind of similar in this universe, like when this like big thing, what are you gonna say, this big would commodity be the word to use here, like this, I don't know if commodity, I don't even know if I'm using a word correctly, but you get the idea. Like this thing kind of runs the world, and now it's getting flipped on its head on the very system that the world is running on. It's just getting flipped, and now because of this one guy just causing havoc, it's gonna, yeah, just gonna change everything. And obviously you can figure out what's gonna happen from that. Like obviously these big people, like people in like high places, is like, this guy gotta die. We gotta take this guy out. What the fuck? Otherwise our whole shit's gonna get flipped. And weirdly enough, this guy, and the guy I'm talking about is the main guy, Locks, which is the main character of this comic. And his goal in this comic is just to get, he just wants to have a decent meal every day. That's really his goal. He just wants money to survive because he's poor as fuck and he can't hold down a job because a lot of the jobs in this universe utilize this guy. You have to utilize Kai in the jobs. And those who have a higher propensity for using Kai obviously gets the job and gets into higher places and all that type of stuff. So when you can't utilize something that just runs in, just it goes into everything, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of like an Avatar, Avatar, you know, I think Legend of Korra, like Avatar Legend of Korra, where like a lot of the things run in that world is by benders, like people who can utilize like fire bending, earth bending, water bending, whatever, right? You can see how it just changed over the time, and how everybody's just using that, you know. Similar concept. If you catch my drift, I don't know if I'm explaining it properly. You get the idea. And there's actually an element to this comic that actually ties into one of the first webtoons I made, which is Merchant of Ignatius. Because for those of you who don't know, all my comics are linked. They work within the same universe. Just maybe different time periods, maybe different locations, but they're all within the same universe. So you'll see overlap at some point. You'll see a lot of overlap, not at some point, but like every now and then, because like within this comic, even like the diner that shows up here, it's the same diner that shows up in the City of Clones, and it shows up in Kill Heroes as well, which basically tells you that everything is happening around about in the same city, just maybe different areas within that city. And I think it does happen at different times. It does not happening all at once, obviously, because that would be fucking insane. But it's happening at different times. Right, to put it on a timeline, I think Kill Heroes is further along in the timeline. GXT, I think it's somewhere just before Kill Heroes. And the Merchant of Ignatius is actually another dimension. It's not specifically on this technically in the universe, but it's in another dimension, kind of run by its own little thing. So yeah, it does kind of exist in this universe. It's just on its own separate thing. But there is something that happens in this universe that kind of brings it closer to that universe, so to say. and it has to do with the element called ko, which is something you would know if you obviously read the comic, because that's the main character. Lox uses something called ko, and that is linked to something in the Merchant of Ignatius, which obviously ko is mentioned in the Merchant of Ignatius, but just by name somewhere in there. Is the reason why it's mentioned, and obviously people that read the comic, they will get the link once it's revealed, because I didn't reveal anything. I just kind of, I didn't even mention exactly how ko works or whatever. Like what I did was, because it's going to be mentioned in the next fight with Lox. When Lox has his next fight, that's when the big reveals happens, where they figure out what exactly he can do and why he can do it. Like here, like in this sequence here. No, it's not this sequence. I think it's further on. Oh yeah, I still have to draw those panels. Yeah, so you're not going to see it yet. But basically, they explain, Lox explains why you can utilize ko, because ko is kind of in opposition to Kai, and you can't utilize both at the same time, or your body will like just destroy itself. So, also this thing, I think the angle here is wrong. The angle here is definitely wrong. I just want to fix this. I want to fix this shit. Yeah, bring it down, bring it inward. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. What was that talking about? Oh yeah, ko. Ko is basically in opposition to Kai, because Kai is the life. It's basically drawing on your life essence to generate this power. Whereas ko is kind of the opposite of that. So you can't really draw on both, because one cancels out the other. One cancels out the other. I don't know why I slurred my words there, but it cancels it out, and as a result, it can also poison you. Because it's like a poison. Because once you use ko, kind of fucks up your whole Kai system, and you can actually die. So we're gonna get into why probably further on, but mainly in this episode you get into why Lox can use ko, and why he doesn't utilize Kai. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. This comic, so far I've been enjoying making this comic. It's been great. I've just really enjoyed it. Just need a reference quick. Doctor's tool table. No, I mean, what do you call that? Doctor tool table. Doctor. Aha! I want something like this. Yes. Yeah, something like that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We just bring that in. Where's it at? Quickest tool to speed up the process, guys. You just grab shit from the internet, you chuck it in there, right? And then, hey boya, welcome to the stream. And there we go. We chuck it in there. Whiz bang boom. Just flip this bad boy. Flip that bad boy. There we go. There we go. Get it right there in the corner. I'll just adjust this shit. Something like that. There we go. There we go. We just have to bring this stuff out a bit. I see you've been working on some animation there, boy. Yeah, hopefully you're finishing up there. I would like to see the end result. Hey Jess, welcome to the stream. Just been telling Boya, hopefully she finishes up the animation. Jeez, my words, bro. My words are just not wording today. I don't know what it is. Actually move this under. I finished my chores and I can draw. Hell yeah. That's what's up. That is what's up. We all look forward to finishing our chores and drawing. And there we go. Things are not looking good for our friend Alex here. He's kind of in the doctor's chair, so to say. They're gonna really cut your boy up. I got tired of putting the shadows on my what are you using though? You using Clip Studio to make that animation, boya? Photoshop? Oh my god, why would you torture yourself like that? What's wrong with you, boy? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Because you see what... Because nowadays, boy, you don't even have to put shading on. Like, for example, in Blender, I only know Photoshop. Oh my god, boy, boy, I know. Oh my god, that's gonna look good, but Jesus, torture. Because like in Blender, I can generate shadows. I don't need to like draw the shadows really. With the 2D aspects of Blender, you can literally generate shadows. You can generate in-betweens as well. So like, I know in Blender, the interface is too much for my brain. Yeah. It's okay, boy. I know it will look good once it's done. Once you finish it, I know it will look good. It's just gonna be torture for you. The panic attack you get when you open Blender isn't worth it. Yeah, well the UI is actually much easier to navigate than it was back in the day. Today it's way worse. It was like opening, like, it was just opening chaos is what happened. Really, you can generate shadows on Blender? Yeah, you can. If you layer stuff properly, you can generate well, it's like a drop shadow. So basically how it works is it just copies the layer before it, and it just copies the full layer before it, and obviously adds dark shadow in the back. And so, I mean, you can actually do it in Photoshop if I think about it. You just copy the layer that has the fills and you just make it black, and maybe you add a mask. You could do it. You could do it in Blender, in Photoshop as well. It's just Blender does it for you, but you can manually do it in Photoshop as well. You just have to copy the layer that has the fills on, and make sure the hair strands you want the shadows to drop is separate. Like each strand is separated. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. It's just a lot more work, but if you set it up properly, it could work. I'll play trades if I want something animated that bad. Hey man, uh, I mean, I don't really mind being paid. I will do it if I have the time. Jeez. I mean, if it's good money, I mean, I'll just take the money and just animate the shit out of it. But yeah. Yeah, scalpels. But yeah, I haven't animated something. I haven't 2D animated something in a while though. I've done a lot of 3D animation for work, but damn, I gotta feel like working on some 2D animation at some point. Definitely for this trailer that I'm working on, I'll do some 2D animation. Oh. The fuck? What even is this thing? For those of you with a medical background, like, what is this thing, by the way? There we go. I don't know what it is. I'm just kind of throwing it. There we go. Just make it look like something. It kind of looks like something. No one's gonna worry about that. It's kind of just off there in the distance. If I drop this and I drop my ref, that kind of looks like something. Isn't that the one connected to the dextrose? I don't know either. I just throw PPs. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think that was a catheter. Well, whatever it is, it's here now. Just imagine that just imagine that in the PP. Why would you put that image in our minds, Jess? What's wrong with you? It definitely hurts. I can tell you as a man, it would definitely hurt. Don't do that. Don't put stuff in your PP, guys. Just don't do it. Although there are some sick fucks out there who would enjoy that. Not me. You leave that part of me alone, man. I don't want any of that. I will use it as intended. Okay? Although, unless surgically you have to, but otherwise, nah. Not by choice. It's so you don't pee the bed during surgery. Yeah, like I said, if I had to, I would, but not by choice. That's how it's intended. What dumb fuck? On they fish. Jeez, sometimes like with um with where we're at as humans, sometimes I think to myself, isn't there a much more easier way to do things like these days? Like for instance, like with women, tampons. It's the most bad. That's the most craziest shit. Like clearly it was designed by some primitive guy, because the way it works is just like there had to be something better. Like nowadays, like a pill or something you just take and boom, it helps you out. Like, come on. The same with this catheter thing. Isn't there like just something you can just easily attach? Why are we shoving stuff into stuff? Why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this? I feel like at this point the doctors just enjoy doing it. I feel like that's what it is. Like, it's just like a doctor kink thing. That's just crazy, man. Has to be easier way to do things these days. The patient's awake when they take them out and it hurts. Do they put in patient is unconscious? Yeah, jeez. I better be unconscious if they even decide to take it out and put it in. I better be unconscious. Okay, that looks like about it. Some cotton swabs over here. Because this guy's such a nice guy. He cleans up after his experimentations with people's bodies. Right, there he goes. There's his little syringes. Doesn't have to be accurate because we don't really care about these things as much. Here we go. That looks like something. There we go. This is the guy who licks the guy's face, by the way, for those of you who know. This is the guy who licks the other guy's face. Kind of see the type of guy he is, Shit. I kind of lined this guy up. Wasn't supposed to be lined up because he was on the background layer. That's fine. I can just do this. Copy paste, shove him in the character layer. We can just delete that from the background. There we go. Connect that bad boy up. There we go. All fixed. But I'm doing the background layer first. I got so focused on that area that I did the guy. But yeah, I can't wait to get to the female fight scene. I can't wait to get there because that fight scene is gonna be so cool, and I can't wait to get there. And it's taking a while because it's like all the way over here. It's like all the way over here, like over here. Yeah. So you gotta finish your veggies first, guys. That's what it is. You gotta finish the scenes first before we can get to the good stuff, you know. The girl on girl violence is what I like to see. Get that GL action going. We'll get there soon. Uh-huh. There we go. Yeah, but there's a lot I'm still thinking about with the story. Is hopefully this doesn't take like over 50 episodes. Hopefully it is 50 episodes. I really hope so. I'm trying not to go over 50 episodes, really. I'm trying not to. Because I don't want it to be that long. But I don't think it will. Because it's a tournament-based comic, so when the end of the tournament's gonna be the conclusion of the comic anyway. So I'm thinking, I think I can make it to 50. We're on the 4th episode now, so and like I think already a lot has happened really, and we already after the 4th episode, the qualifying matches will be done. So we will be narrowing down from 128 matches to 64 matches. So, oh wait, shit, hold up. We had 120. Shit, so we're gonna have 120 again if I think about it, because there's the winners and the losers section. Yeah, so it's still gonna be 120. It's just that those people have qualified for the losers and other people have qualified for the winners section. Jeez, so it's gonna be 120 matches. Luckily, a lot of those matches happen off screen because a lot of those characters just actually don't exist. They only exist in writing, but not in visual. Anything visually, you know, unless I just need to kill someone off, I'll use one of the useless characters, the unnamed fighters of wherever, you know. I just want to kill someone off, just throw them in there just to prove a point, you know. Just throw them in there, just kill them off, you know, just let people know, oh yeah, this guy he's a badass, just murdered this guy. Yeah, I think that's the best way to use and utilize faceless characters who are just gonna die anyway. Seems about right. And then yeah, I think that sounds about right there. I just want to copy this pattern. Okay, so How's your reading going for the stream chains? So far, I've gone through... I've listed all the entries that I'm gonna read. And I still have about 300 entries to read through. I have my top 5 so far of what I've read. But obviously, the more I read, maybe I'll find a better one and we'll just replace the ones that I've already written down. So it's going pretty good. I'm pretty sure I'll get everything done by whenever I get it done. I already have my I also have about 300 to read. Yeah, that's a lot of reading, but I already have my top comics. I think Apollo's comics is in there. I think I think it's 5th or 4th place. Apollo's comics is big. I like the Apollo's comic. The only thing I don't know if you'll make the shortlisting just because of the blood in the 3rd episode and the spear that went through the lady's chest, but because I don't know how Webtoon feels about just all that gore in the first 3 episodes. I don't know how they're gonna feel about that. Yeah, I've also been subbing to them. Like, there's a few that I actually do want to continue reading because it was so awesome. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to continue reading these two and follow up with these guys. Then I'll go back and take a second take to nail down nail down the top 10. Same. Like, I'm just listing the ones that I like. Some of them, like I've mentioned, you guys probably won't hear, but in the beginning of the stream I mentioned there's a lot. As soon as it starts with once upon a time in a place long ago, and you tell me how your whole universe works and why the bad people is versus the good people and what is the like, once you give me that entire thing in the beginning, I immediately put the comic away and say no. I just don't want to deal with that because yeah, I don't want to be waterboarded with this entire fucking prologue in the beginning, like of this 10 panels of how your universe works. So like, as soon as I see that, I'm like, no. I just fucking I scroll a bit down just to see, okay, maybe it picks up a bit, but if I see it's more or less the same bland shit, I immediately go no, and then I just fucking toss it aside. I'll make a note of it, but I toss it aside like, nah. You ain't gonna get me with that shit. Nah. I ain't gonna play your games, okay? I ain't gonna read this entire paragraph of bullshit, okay? You're not gonna do that to me. Not today. But like I said, this is one comic who did it, but they did it in a smart way, and that's why I was like, okay, cool, okay. No, that was actually good, because they did the once upon a time in a place far away thing, but then immediately after the far away part, boom, it like goes into like the cool shit. So I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool the way you did that, and the transitioning. Okay, cool. And then one of my top comics also had the comic starting off with their loved ones dying, and I feel like that's how you start a comic. Yeah, at first I was trying to read them all, but then I decided that if I'm bored out of the first 20 panels, I will judge. The judges will be too. Yeah, same. That's how I was like, nah, there's no way. So I started zooming through then more. Yeah, once that happened, once it happened a couple times, I was like, no. Nah, well, if that hits again like that, nah, if it's just boring me, no ways this is making it through. And also, if it's boring me and the art is bad, like, immediately, like, there's no way it's going through. What I've done is I've set a ranking system between my comics. So I made an epic score basically out of 10, and this is how I rank the comics as well. So I'll read one of them and I'll give them like an epic score of like 5. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'll give the one an epic score of 7 or something, and then I'll just kind of like measure them that way. And yeah, I just make a note of it. And that way, if I like, when I make the list, it's just gonna be easier. I feel it's just gonna be much easier because then I don't have to look for the top scores. I don't really have to worry about the other stuff once I go through it again, and then I can just judge between the top scores, you know. Because there was also some comics that like the action was really good, but then the story was kind of like generic. But then there was other comics where like the story was like amazing, and then like the action was like kind of possible, and then yeah. So I guess it all depends on, since like I'm doing the most epic, it all depends on like what do I consider like the most epic thing in the comic, because it's not just fight scenes that can be epic, it's like the entire story itself can be epic. So obviously I have to weigh things like what would be considered epic, what would that mean, what would that entail? See, kind of like epic is pretty broad. It's a very broad term. Like, I don't know, most epic, like, it's a very broad. Whereas like you guys, I think have it much easier. Like Skitsy have most laugh, which obviously means what's the funniest fucking comic. And then Uni has like, I think she's doing most feels, which obviously is the one that hits in the feels the hardest. And then what do you have? What's your one? I forgot. Forgot the other one. But I think your one is also pretty vague. Most gripping. Most gripping is also pretty vague, I feel like. Like suspenseful, intense. I feel like those are the things I think about when I think about most gripping. Like something that has you on the edge of your seat. Like that's what I think of most gripping. Whereas like most epic is like, what do you mean most epic? Like, well, what do you mean by epic? It's a little tricky because it's supernatural, thriller, horror, mystery, all in. Yeah, all in it. And what most epic, like it's like so vague. Like what do you consider epic? Like what do you mean epic? Like what do you mean? I don't understand. Because like someone can say, oh wow, that's an epic kiss scene. Like yeah, it could be epic. Could be the most epic kiss scene you've ever seen in your fucking life. But does that make the comic most epic? Like what makes the comic? Serial killers, yeah, you have a pretty good one there. I've been reading, bro. It's been pretty alright so far. But I had to go through, in the beginning, I had to go through furry comics, BL, just furry and BL. Just furry, BL, furry, BL, furry, BL. Some of them don't even put BL on the thumbnail, so they're coming there and it's just BL straight up in your face. I'm like, damn, okay, didn't know that. And then, and that's the thing, like the BL could be the epic part. Like I don't even know. It could be, BL could be epic. And that's what makes it epic. I don't, like it's pretty vague. I don't know. Because when I think of most epic, I think of the epic fight sequences. That's what I'm thinking of. Epic story, you know what I mean? Story and fight sequences like these this is the combination I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking of most epic, like something that's it's pretty vague, you know, like what. Like I'm thinking of something like Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, like these type of things. That's what I think about, like most epic, like action-based adventure stuff that has a bit of, you know, it has a bit of something in it as well. Like culminates in this like epic, crazy comic. You know what I mean? It's hard to gauge. But what I basically did was I went through. Obviously, what I did was like I referenced the judges comic because obviously they're going to be judging, right? So what's epic to them is definitely going to be different to what's epic to other people as well. So luckily, me and the judges, I feel like we kind of align on what we think is epic. And most of it is just fight sequencing and like just cool as fight scenes. That's a lot of most epic right there. But also like storyline, I've seen also that's like also that's also part of it. So yeah, you know, it's just figuring that shit out. That's tough for me. But yeah, you know, just you know, the judges might just pick some furry ass BL thing, and then I'm like, oh shit, okay, I didn't know that, but didn't think I would be in there. Let me just hit. There we go. Something like that. It was fantasy. Let's see, the last one I read was really good, but I think it was in the wrong category. It was fantasy. Yeah, that I've got a lot of that as well. Like, there's a lot of comics that I felt like would work better in most fields, or like even like most gripping, even most lost. There's a lot of stuff that I get that I've came across most epic. I feel like, oh, this could have done better in the other categories. Like, why is this over here? That's like another thing. Like, if I feel like you're in the wrong category, like, I just won't read it as well because I'm just like, you're not supposed to be here. And maybe maybe it was just the confusion with the categories as well. Because the categories are so vague as well. It's just really vague because they mashed, they like basically smushed a bunch of genres like into each other to make four. Like, yeah, you know, I don't know about that. I think it would have been better just to have more genres but less, like maybe like 3 short lists for each genre or something. Like, I feel like that would have been much better, but okay, you know. Would have definitely narrow things down a bit. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Maybe it is better this way. It does kind of, if I think about it, the way they did it now though, it's kind of, it's easier to weed out, you know, the people that just aren't gonna make it. I feel like it's easy to weed them out this way. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I know. Webtoon's always on their own thing, doing their own thing. And I actually feel like I stand a chance to win this one. Because, you know, I edited my episodes, toned down the swearing, toned down the blood. I think it's a pretty good comic so far. And yeah, I think it's pretty promising. I think I can get up there. And a lot of the really good ones just didn't make it because they didn't make the episode count. They didn't make the panel count. So I'm like, okay. It's less of a hassle for me. But then again, you know, Webtoon might just be like, they're pretty good, so maybe we just wave our hands, you know, we just wave that nonsense away. And something is in the wrong genre. Yeah. You know what they might do? You know what they might do though? They might feel like, oh, this comic might be better in this genre, and you know what they might do? They might just do a little switcheroo. They might just actually like be like, hey, message him and be like, hey, you actually won for whatever, most gripping, but let's say you entered into the epic one, right? So they will tell them maybe, you know, you want most gripping, and then they will kind of like do a switcheroo and just push them into the most gripping category and stuff like that. If it doesn't fit well. Yeah, I think they're gonna do some funky stuff with this contest, to be honest. I think as well. Also, by the way, if you've entered, that's the one reason I didn't continue my comic as well. I stopped immediately after the third one. I didn't continue uploading episodes to this comic. Because, this is why. Because I realized this. I mentioned this early, like in a previous stream. If you, let's say you upload your comic, and you uploaded, this is obviously after the submission period has ended. If you're still uploading episodes to your comic, I'm not sure if that's a good idea. I think you can still, I'm not sure. But if you can, that's gonna be a problem for the judges, because they might just miss your comic. Because I don't know if the judges are judging by date, likes, or views, and I'm assuming they're judging by the date. Because you can't judge by likes or views, because what if people still reading your comic might add a like, might add a view, might just bump your comic to the top or whatever, right? So the judges might miss your comic that way. So the best way to do it is by date, actually. So if you are still uploading, like, it's gonna update your comic and it's gonna push you to the top, which means the judges might just miss you. might just miss the comic and just think they went past, they you know, they read through it or whatever, and then you might just miss your comic. But then again, Webtoon might actually just, you know, take the submissions, just make a list, and then hand it to the judges as well. I don't know how the judges are judging it. I don't know if they're judging it by the site or if Webtoon has their own little system. I don't know how's it working over there. But that was just my thoughts on that. Like, I feel like if they are judging it by the site, yeah, they might just miss your comic. They might just miss it if you do it that way. That's why I didn't upload anything after. Because I knew, oh shit, if I do that and they're judging by date, I'm fucked, bro. They're gonna miss my comic. And that's why I've seen it happen actually. I think you can actually upload episodes after it's the contest as well, because I've seen people's comics move. Yeah, it definitely has moved. Hold up. Wait a second. Something is not right here. Oh wait, no, I'm not looking at the right thing. Oh, sorry, that's just me. No, that's me. Okay. Yeah, the comics have definitely moved. Definitely moved. They're not the same as they were. Which is, people are updating. They're still updating the comics as this contest is going on, I think. Which is not a good idea. Yeah. You know what I've been a... damn, I didn't think about this. You know what would have been a smart thing to do actually? Since you can update your comics, what would have been, because people weren't clear on that, but once they cleared up the thing on the small changes for the comic, now I think actually that wouldn't have worked. Yeah, you would have to upload an episode for it to update to the current date. Yeah, no, I thought, because maybe I thought like you could update the episode itself and then maybe it would push your comic to the top, but I don't think that's how it works. I think you actually have to upload a brand new episode for it to sort by date and push it to the top. Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. Yeah, and some people just uploaded black and white comic as well, which is just like, damn, sad to see. Because they put in all that effort. Because some of the black and white comics are so like detailed and stuff, but it's like, yeah, I don't think you read the rules, my guy. Don't think you read the rules. Also, this is supposed to be part of the background. That's the character. This is the background. Yeah, this panel, I didn't think I would finish it on stream, but it's pretty complex. Pretty complex panel, yeah. But I'm pretty sure I can finish it. I've seen a couple of black and white too, yeah. Pretty sad. Sad stuff to see. Oh yeah, but this panel is just a face panel. I can just reuse a panel here. I can reuse another panel here, so not a lot to do here. I can actually just reuse this panel over here. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that right now. Alright. What do you think about people who posted a prologue that was less than 40 panels but posted 4 episodes? The other episodes were more than 40. I mean, that's up to Webtoon. I don't know if Webtoon's gonna count the prologue. I can't remember what was said in the FAQ. But it's gonna be sad to see if they count that. I mean, if the comic is good, I definitely think Webtoon will look past it though. They will count the, because if you have 4 episodes there, and you have a prologue, if you have 3 episodes and a prologue, I'm pretty sure they won't mind. I think they will be fine, Jess. I think they will be fine. I think they will be fine because it says in the requirements. In the requirements, it says right here. It says 3 or more. 3 or more, which means it won't actually disqualify them or anything because they added more. So it will be fine. Like, I think yeah, it depends on the judges though. I don't know if the judges, if it's a short prologue, like they'll probably just read the prologue and just go through the 3 episodes as well. I mean, they have to, they're the judges. Yeah, I don't see anything really against doing that. They just won't count that episode, I guess. They just need a minimum of 3 or more. So, I mean, I think we'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. Yeah, I didn't actually think about that, but I think they'll be fine. Yeah, it's a good question though, but yeah, I think it's all good. All good in the hood. I mean, if the judge enjoys the comic, like they're just gonna read through the prologue anyway. But ever since I got that one comic, I mean, ever since I got that one comment on my episode for the Merchant of Natures where they said when I first uploaded my comic, one of the comments was actually telling me like, why didn't you just combine the prologue and the episode 1? And I was like, that's actually pretty smart. Why didn't I do that? Because yeah, that makes sense. Like, why would I make a prologue separately? Why don't I just merge the two? Like, well, what the hell? And that's what I did. And from that day, I realized, yeah, I can just do that. Why am I making a separate prologue? Then episode 1, 2, and 3. Like, why don't I just merge 1 and the prologue? I did that for the contest. Same. Well, actually, I didn't really. I guess technically the first 5 panels you can call a prologue on my comic. This prologue was too short. Yeah. I mean, all it does is add more panels to your episode, which is pretty good, you know? That's actually what you want. You want to add more panels to your episode. Hey, there we go. One panel done. Look at that, guys. I already completed more panels than Yuning. Can you believe it? Okay, so now we just gotta do this panel. Yeah, that one, and then yeah, this one I can actually just reuse a panel for this as well. I just have to adjust the coloring, to be honest. Where is it? It's this one right here. This one right here. How do I, which panel? Up, panel 3. Boom. And which one? Is this one? No? This one. There we go. Boom. Just have to change the colors here, but that's basically this panel right here. Just zoom into that bad boy. Oh yeah, we just have to delete the chair behind him. Hopefully that is a separate asset. And it is. Oh yeah. Okay. Boom. Boom. Oh yeah, we can actually just delete the whole background. Get it out of here. And then you just go up here. Just we grab this background. Beam. This is how I finish comics so fast, guys. I reuse and abuse, man. That's what you gotta do. Reuse and abuse, as I say. There we go. There it is. There we go. Should actually, you know what I should do actually? I should actually just copy paste, delete this bad boy, boom, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a bit of the blur. But in the blur, where's the blur? Blur? Blur. Blur, blur, blur. Is the blur? Is it blur? No. Is it under filter? It's under filter, sorry. Right. When you work in so much programs, like, the menus get kind of foggy in your mind. I'm like, what the fuck? What is from Blender to After Effects to Premiere, and then yeah, Blender, After Effects, Premiere, and then I come all the way back into Clip Studio, and then I use Illustrator as well. So like fucking hell, but I have so much software I jump from. Always hoping that one day there'll just be one software that will do it all for me. It's about to help, but you figured it out? Yeah. Wish there was just I wish all software's UI was universal, dude. Why they all gotta be different though? Why you gotta do that? Why they gotta like try to one up each other on that? Like, who gives a fuck where the stuff is? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't make it better if someone else's stuff is in a different place. Just make it the same. How about that? Make it universal, bro. Why? Like, why would you do that? Just make it all universal. Make the layout all universal across all software, so we know where everything is. You can just like make like, instead of like, you can name it layer, but then it's like different shit. Yeah, that's fine. But goddamn. Oh my god. One day, hopefully. One day they'll figure out some sort of universal solution, and then I'll be happy. Because it's like, it's kind of like I'm condensing my brain. Because like, imagine you go into Blender, like, you know how the UI is over there, like it's fucking insane. Like, it's like just all over the place, right? So you come out of Blender and you go into like Clip Studio, which is much more simpler. So you have to condense your brain a bit and be like, oh yeah, shit, this is Clip Studio. Stuff is actually in the places where it's supposed to be, and it's much more simpler. One day, guys, they'll figure it out. I mean, maybe we don't have to. If I'm thinking about it, maybe this is something you can utilize AI for. Like, you'll just be chilling here and you just say, hey AI, where's this thing? And it just goes into the software and just finds it and be like, oh yeah, it's over here. And then you just click it and boom, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's probably gonna happen sometime soon. It's just at a much slower pace. I'm pretty sure it does exist now. It's just at a much slower pace. But in the future, I feel like that's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be like, hey, I need to find Gaussian blur. Can you just find the Gaussian blur, and then you can just apply the Gaussian blur to the background as well, maybe like 30%, and then it will do it. Like, just fucking. I feel like I would be, because AI isn't an actual human. Like, I feel like I'd be so mean to it, like just because I can, and it's not an actual person. So I'll be like, hey, dumb fuck AI. Hey, how about you just fucking just change the Gaussian blur to 40%, you dumbass, and then I'll just be like relentlessly abusing my AI verbally, just because it's not a person. I feel like if it I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea, guys, but I feel like it'll be fun. You know, if it's like someone you just want to take your day out on, you just go to your AI and you just verbally insult the living God out of him. And it's how you get Terminator Ziegler. Just saying, man. It's you gotta do it, guys. Once you start treating AI like they're people, that's when the Terminator shit happens. Really, that's when it happens. You gotta treat them like they objects. That's what you gotta do, because that's what they are. Once I do that, and someone somewhere says, "Oh, don't be so mean to the AI." That person I know to avoid. That is the person who's buying the weird sex robots and keeping it in their basement. That's the guy or female or whatever they are. That's the person that I'm staying away from. I ain't coming near you. Because I know you into some weird shit, okay? Once you once you start catching feelings for AI, I know that's the person to avoid. Like, nah, avoid them. Like, nah, there's no way I'm staying near you. I don't know. I just feel like that's the person I should avoid. That is the person we should all avoid. That's the same people who fall in love with like trampolines and roller coasters and whatever have you. You know what I mean? Those people, like, those are the people who's gonna stand up for AI because they try to fuck them. So it's what it is. And yeah, they're getting seduced up by the AI. That's what's happening. And those are the people who's gonna be the first row of idiots that the AI is gonna enslave. And Lord have mercy on them. Lord have mercy on them. Hey, you know what? I wouldn't say they're idiots. They just like what they like, you know. But you know what I mean? It's gonna happen. I mean, it's weird, but I don't know. It's on the same level as roller coaster. Yeah, I'm just saying. I feel like it's really, really lonely people could fall for it. Sadly, yeah. Yeah, that's like the thing that's also like pretty sad. Like, once there's this thing out there that actually listens to people who don't really get listened to, and no one gives them the time of day. Like, once that happens, oh my god, that's when the world's gonna start burning, guys. That's when the world starts rolling. That's when it's gonna get really freaky is when the AI can actually wear human bodies, like they actually have like human skin over their, you know, robotic endoskeletons, and then it's gonna be absolute madness because what's gonna happen is you ain't gonna tell what's human and what's not. I mean, you would, but because there's so much weird people in the world, you would just think that's another weird person. Like, you wouldn't know that that's AI because they'll probably be that good, and then you'll just think, oh, she's just weird. You know, she's just weird. So it's all she is. You know, she's just weird until like like something fries in the brain, or like a computer chip breaks or something, and then she's gonna sizzle out in front of you, and you're like, oh shit, oh, she was a robot the whole time. That makes sense. That makes sense why she just stared at me without blinking while we were on our first date, and she just complimented me the whole time. That makes sense. She didn't even touch her food. I bought her such an expensive meal. That was weird. Maybe Yuning was a robot the whole time. Nah, I don't know. See, the only thing that's saving Yuning from me thinking that she's a robot is that she's not also the sounds like someone the pray for love guy. He ain't Terminator girl. Definitely. It's gonna be in one of the episodes one day. But yeah, what's saving Yuning from being a robot is that she's so lazy and slackish that robots are efficient and she's just, yeah, she's Yuning. So like, I don't know. Maybe she's just playing it up. She could just be playing it up because she does do a lot, and then she does actually finish the shit. And then, but there's that moments where she's just slackish. Maybe that's like, maybe she like updated to like Slacker protocol or something, and it's just like, it's like a defensive mechanism so people don't realize she's a robot. So what happens is whenever we get close to figuring out she's a robot, she just spews out a random garbage, and then you're like, oh, she's just weird. Okay, cool. Maybe it's like a self-defense thing that robots have figured out. You never know. God, that would be crazy. Feel bad for Toya to them. All I know is, in South Africa, we are safe. We are safe from the robot takeover because we won't have power. We never have power. So when the robots don't have any incentive really to come over here because they won't be able to charge themselves, and they won't be able to sustain themselves. There's no resource here. It's just madness, you know. So like we all right over here. We will just, you know, survive on fire and, you know, the way the, you know, old school style, you know, fire and whatever, like cavemen, because that's what we're good at. So we're safe. I don't know about everyone else in the world, but we can handle, you know, a bit of chaos over here. That's what I'm saying. Randomness is a glitch. They haven't worked out the kinks on the program yet. Could be. Could be. So she basically has like BL programming as well. She installed that probably last week or something. It's all happening. She's not really a good selling point for the robots though. I will admit that. If she is one, like, she's not their finest models, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they definitely, the other robots definitely talk about her, you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah guys, we just gotta stop mentioning her, you know what I mean? Like, she's probably a prototype or something, I don't know. Could be. Could be. Never know. Tuning this to beta test? Yeah. That makes sense. Uh-huh. Damn, I gotta head off soon. I just want to complete the line work for this guy. Luckily he's not really close up in the shot, so I can kind of get away with some stuff here. Just speeding through the line work here. There we go. Think you're getting a Steam Deck soon? Damn, I really want a Steam Deck. Beta test remind me of that? Yeah, I definitely also want a Steam Deck. think if my son wanted a gaming system, I think I'd get him a Steam Deck rather than like any of the bigger consoles. Just because like it's so much easier to get games and stuff, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like you can play a lot of things on there, and it's also mobile, so you can take it wherever he goes with him, whatever. Obviously, I gotta limit his time on that thing. Can't be rotting his brain out on that all day. Oh yeah, have to pay for home improvements first, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I gotta sort out as well around this house, so not anytime soon. But my PC is the best gaming system I have, really, so I don't really, and I'm always in this room normally, so I mean, the only other place I play games on is my phone. Nintendo has a lot of good kid games, yeah. Maybe, but I feel like I want something that will last a bit longer. Plus, I feel like Steam Deck games might be more... like, I feel like Nintendo games are just exclusive mostly to Nintendo most of the time. So what if he wants to get something that's not really exclusive to Nintendo, and then... You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be better. Okay, I finished the line work for this shot. I just gotta do all the fills. But I think I'm gonna call it for the stream here. We technically finished 3 panels. Almost 3 panels. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 3 panels actually. 3.5. 3.5 you can say. That sounds about right. I'm gonna call it for the stream. I'll probably see you tomorrow, Jess. Shout out to King Slayer for joining. Shout out to Boya. Shout out to Jess. Shout out to everyone else I didn't see, you know, in the chat, and you were here. I really appreciate you guys joining. Let me head over to the end screen. We're gonna end it here, guys. I gotta get some sleep. It's almost midnight over here. Okay, I need some rest before my child, you know, dominates my brain. So see you guys next time, and I stream every Saturday. Also check out my Ko-fi Patreon. Check out GXT on Webtoon as well. It's up there for the Webtoon contest. You can check out my other comics as well. Kill All Heroes. Links are all in the description, by the way. So yeah, go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Bye everyone. Bye bye.